Hey everyone, I thought I'd share with you my 12-inch gold rat high banking setup with recirculating system. So we've got two 100-litre containers. I've got mesh baskets for the filtering. There's the fine tailings container. These baskets do a great job at filtering out. Got a 4,700 gallon per hour bilge pump. Just a cheapie off eBay. Kicks ass over the seaflow. Just a little rack there, just to keep the pump off the bottom, away from the settlement. Now this was designed for out bush. This is not for my home recirculating. This is to be able to access areas where people can't because of no water. So the two containers are just easily joined together with the PVC piping. So to run requires roughly around 60 litres per container. So I normally take about 140 litres with me. Another 20 litres for just clean up. Had this for about a year now, so does the job. So the large basket goes in the front. The fine tailings bin inside that. Little rack in the bottom, that was from Target too, about 10 bucks. And the second basket, the smaller one for the pump. Now, as you can see on this pump, I've actually siliconed around the seal and where the wires enter, and that is because I have had a pump leak. Although they're fully submersible, when they're underwater non-stop for long periods, they can leak. So joining from the pump to the HighBanker is roughly a metre, 50 mil non-crush smooth bore hose. Sorry, trying to do everything one-handed. Nice easy setup. And she's ready to fill. So I'll just run through a few mods on the HighBanker. Put a little bit of a flare at the top end just to stop dirt going over and clogging up around the spray bars. Now the next modification I made was to the expanded mesh. It's a flat and quite smooth to the touch expanded mesh. I wanted to go with one with a more layered expanded mesh with a slightly larger opening, and also added about 3 or so inches. just to give me a little bit of extra miner's moss as well. So that's the size difference to the original. Also, because it's more abrasive on the top, it's excellent for pushing in that sort of hard flood layer material and breaking it up, as well as clay. Added an extra drill hole there to move the wing nut bolt down. Now it will rust if you don't take the miner's moss out after a clean-up. Rusting on that punch plate. And the expanded mesh, although it does look like it's in the wrong way, it would be the other way obviously on a sluice run, but it's that way on purpose to help trap the concentrates. Does a great job. The next mod, which you would have seen most other people do, is more miner's moss down the bottom. I'd be lucky to get about 5 to 10% in the Dream Mat now. The spray bars, now that's something I worked on a lot. I would have done about 13 different designs. I've tried them firing from every side, the top end, the sides, the back, all four. I've tried multiple different configurations with the holes. Then I advise against random holes. And as you'll see in the test later when I show, it really just does annihilate the whole entire hopper box. And you really want most of your water pushing from the back. It helps keep that pay material up in the hopper. Now, if you want to bring in your pipe from the side, like this setup, you need to put in something to restrict that flow down that first tube. So I just glued in some PVC pieces inside, and that helps direct some of the flow more up that way. If you don't, your jets will fire pretty much like that. Next is the battery. And the clips. 12 volt 130 amp hour. Gets me about 7 hours runtime, which is plenty. This is a speed controller. About 14 bucks off eBay. Great tool. Takes a lot of pressure off your pump instead of hitting it with 12 volts instantly. Gradually turn it on, prevent burnouts. So, battery. P for pump. The solar panel's only for weekend trips away. It's a 300 watt. If I go hard on the HighBanker, the battery never goes under about 70%. That's pretty much with a full day run. So once the water is over the two pipes joining the container, it needs to be over or all the floaties will come through to that second container. Okay, let's let her rip. Usually got the angle at around 9.5 to 10 degrees. Ideally, I'd like to see that water just touching on those bolts. A little bit more flow would be better, but it does the job. As you can see, the water pretty much touches every square inch in that hopper. Right up to the corners. Creates sort of a turbine effect in the water. Churns that dirt over, eats it up. And as you can see, most of it's pushing from the back, keeping it up there. If you haven't tried a setup like this with your spray bar, give it a shot. Comes off the back nice and even. So that's the recirculating setup. Now for when I'm out bush and got access to a dam, it's pretty simple. I've got a just an extension piece of pipe. It's about 2.2 meter. Got this little basket from Office Works. You can get them in the cheap shops for a few dollars. Great little filter basket. Put a handle on it from an old bucket. Bang, bang. Chuck her in. She's right to go. Easy. So that's my full setup, guys. Hopefully there's something there you can take from it. It's all about having fun and finding that yellow. Peace out, everyone.